Okay, quick recap about pyramids for you. I need you to be ready to go. A pyramid is a solid with a polygon base and lateral faces that are all going to be triangles. We're on 11.6. Find it. If we talk about a regular pyramid, it's a pyramid with a regular polygon for its base. And then lastly, the slant height is the distance along the lateral face, so along one of the triangles, from the base to the top vertex. I don't think I'm going to have you do anything with the slant height today for pyramids, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Okay, here's what we just saw, and this works every time. If you have the same area of the base and the same height, it takes 3 pyramids to 1 what? Prism. 3 pyramids to 1 prism. That's what you saw. You saw the water being poured in. Normally I would do that demonstration actually in front of you, but I don't know where those shapes are, and I didn't want to find them this morning. So you saw a video. I know. Okay, so my question for you is, so this is the volume formula for a pyramid. 1/3 area of the base times the height. Why does that make sense? So all this is 1/3, I keep saying area, 1/3 of the volume of a prism. Because a prism is a BH, area of the base times height. We are doing one example. So be with me. We're going to do number 2. Okay, we have what's the name of this guy? Triangular pyramid. Okay, you need to find the area of the base, and you need to have the height. Our base is a triangle. So if I were you, I would draw it out to the side. Whoop. With a base of 6 and a height of 4. First thing you got to do is find the area of the base times the height. How do you find the area of a triangle? And if you don't remember, you have that paper from Friday. Base times height divided by 2, or 1/2 base times height. I don't care how you write it. We'll do base times height divided by 2, because that's just nicer. So this is the area formula for a triangle. So we're doing 6 times 4 divided by 2. So what is the area of the triangle? 12 centimeters squared. Okay. That's all good and great, but you need the volume. Volume formula for a pyramid is 1/3 the volume of a prism. Area of the base times the height. If this were a prism instead, we would just get rid of 1/3. Okay, so 1/3. My area of the base is 12. What's the height of the prism? 9. I keep saying prism. Pyramid. The height of the pyramid is 9. You can type this in your calculator all at once. If you're going to type in 1/3, type in 1 divided by 3 in parentheses. Otherwise, you could just do 12 times 9 divided by 3. That is just as good. Volume is cubed. Mm-hmm. So 9 times 2, that'd be, or 12 times. So you're doing 108 divided by 3. What do we get for our volume? 36 centimeters cubed. Great. It's 1/3 pi r squared. What's it missing? Height. add it on because otherwise it's wrong. Sorry, it's not correct. 1/3 pi r squared h. That's the most commonly used. So this is your formula for a cone. Think back to last week, please. Volume of a cylinder was what? If you don't remember, look back at 11.5. What's the volume formula for a cylinder? It's area of the base times the height, which since it's a cylinder, it's pi r squared h. So this is a cylinder, and this is a cone. My question for you is, why does it make sense that there's a 1/3 in front of the volume of a cylinder? Why? Okay, we're doing number 2. It says a right cone. All that means is that it's not oblique, it's not slanted. So right cone would be just a normal cone. It's not like a right angle cone. Has a radius of 5 feet. You should be drawing this so you have a lovely little picture. And a slant height of 13 feet. Okay, when we talk about the slant height, we are not talking about the regular height. We're talking about the one on the side. So that diagonal part. In order to find the volume, you need the height, though. You don't have the height right now. You're going to have to get the height. Altitudes or heights make a right angle with the base. You have done this so many times in this class. When you have two sides of a right triangle and you want to find a third, what do we use? Yes. Pythagorean theorem. 13 is C. And you only have to do this if you don't know the height. If you know the height, or like if you're only have to do this if you're given a slant height, you have to solve for the height. So we put 5 squared plus h squared. And solve. Before you can take the square root, you have to subtract to 25. So the height squared is equal to 144. How do you get rid of the squared? We've done this so many times. Root. So the height is what? 12. 12 feet. That's all good and great, but you want the volume. The volume of a cone is 1/3 the volume of a cylinder. So 1/3 of pi r squared times the height. Okay, put in what you know. Pi times the radius squared. Oh, that's not right. The radius is 5. My bad. 5 squared times the height, which is 12. You can type this in your calculator all at once, or you could leave it in terms of pi. It doesn't matter to me. I probably prefer leaving it in terms of pi, but it's a personal preference. If you leave it in terms of pi, this is a great answer. Otherwise, you should have this. So if you're rounding it, 314 and 2/10. If you're not rounding it, then 100 pi.